Hey, this is Steve Good on the Coin Chat.
With Yuri Cataldo, as always.
And we're back for another exciting episode today to talk about something a little bit unusual and different called the frictionless reputation model, which we've invented ourselves. And actually, it's quite cool. Excited to talk about it. But before we jump into it, Yuri, I think you had something you wanted to share with our listeners and our viewers, which is quite cool news. So over to you.
I do. Thank you. So now, in addition to listening to our fantastic show on YouTube and wherever podcasts or broadcasts, you can also listen to our show on your Alexa device through the flash briefings. So it's very easy to set up. You just go into Amazon and search for us, which we now have a couple of different reviews, which is great. We're easily found. And you just, on your Alexa app, enable us in your flash briefing. And every time you get up in the morning, you say, Alexa, what's in the news today? That's going to be us. And you'll hear this show through your Alexa app, which is awesome.
And we promise we're not actually spying on you with the Alexa. We're just there to tell you what's happening.
That's right. That's right. You just get to hear us. We don't file the other way around.
That's very cool. Great work on that, Yuri. I'm very pleased.
Thank you.
Hope people enjoy listening to us on Alexa now. That's really cool.
Thank you. As do I. And you had something interesting as well.
I do have something interesting and a little bit edgy. So I'll share a screen and I'll also read it at the same time. So, John McAfee, as many people know, is one complete and total nutcase in a really quirky way. And, of course, is he real or is he just saying this stuff just to draw attention? I don't know. But I follow his tweets because they're funny and they're amusing. And I decided the other day to respond to him because I thought, what better way to actually know, just to kind of, I don't know, just to say something for the fun of it. So anyway, he was out on a fishing boat and he writes, Synth, the founder of Skycoin project, attempting to shoot fish from a tiny boat in rough weather. Our deal was if he shot no fish, he'd hire me back. We just signed a prenup for our second chance at marriage. I want Synth to get a tramp stamp tattooed with my name. Need help. Of course, I'm not going to hesitate to give help if help's needed. So I jumped right in on that one. And we're showing up right at the top of his tweets because we're very active on Twitter. And I wrote, Synth, get the tats. And you can join us on our show to tell your crazy experience in crypto with that crazy man who put you up to this. And John McAfee responded and said, awesome. That's cool. So John McAfee, really cool. And interestingly enough, we're talking about the frictionless, reputation model. So now, I'll mention it now, awareness, right? Now he's aware of who we are because he's replied to us, at least on some subliminal level. But of course, knowing me, I had to say something even more ridiculous, hoping I'd get a further response. And I said, even better, John, you can join us to talk about how to pay for whores with crypto. Running for president and hashtag making crypto great again, hashtag MCGA. Are you game?
Wow.
So I did not get a response on the second part, but because he's always talking about alcohol and drugs and whores and all, I just couldn't help myself. I said, I'll just put it out there for the fun of it and let people know we like to have a bit of fun. And what the hell, if we respond to these people and we get responses, then more people will know about our project and our program anyway. So, but great, John McAfee's responded to us, which is really cool.
That's great. It's step one of a many-step process, and I like that. Nice work.
Right, exactly. So I guess without further ado, shall we jump in and show people? We're going to do a presentation today with slides, which is kind of unusual. So it's a little bit visual, but actually a lot of it quite auditory, and we'll talk through it. But I think it's really good to tell people this because, what is a frictionless reputation model? And it's about awareness. It's about brand. It's about how do you connect all of this to STO and token economics and how to create value for your projects, your ICOs, and how to determine whether or not you should even get involved with these projects. I don't care if crypto is up or down. The fact is this is not for crypto. This is for just beyond crypto. This is for just everybody to understand.
Right.
And okay, so I called it frictionless reputation, or we called it the frictionless reputation model. The reality is it's because we want to create a frictionless reputation between you and your business and everybody else out there. So this is for everybody. This is not just for crypto, but it certainly applies to crypto because a lot of people make the same bloody mistakes all the time. and we really want to help people. So that's what we did this to help you guys. So we might have to put this in a book, actually, because this is really cool stuff. So let me pop over to our PowerPoint slide. I will just jump in. Now, what I did was let's see if I can hide ourselves here. I'll see if I can hide it. Okay, there we go. There's the bottom. Okay, cool. So first slide is really to say, we've all seen this kind of typical behavior of the reality versus the LinkedIn person. The LinkedIn guy that says, I'm a blockchain enthusiast, I'm a cryptocurrency guy, I'm an influencer, I'm an inspirer, I'm a visionary, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a founder, I'm a can't say it.
Philanthropist.
I got so bored with him. I just can't bear the guy anymore. I've been on TED Talks twice. You know, the reality of these people who are saying all this stuff are oftentimes just overstating who they are, and they're not anything other than trying to demonstrate they're bigger than they are.
Yeah.
And it leaves you kind of wondering, are they authentic and real people, or are they just, who are they?
Mm-hmm.
So Yuri, thank you very much for making me do this slide about myself now, which is who is Steve, because, you know, you love to do this to me. So I had my wife help me with this one. And
good.
Yeah. So who is Steve? Well, I've been on stage. I'm an ICO bench expert. I'm, you know, the host of the Coin Chat, blah, blah, blah. I've been in BuzzFeed. Okay, that's all the business stuff. And, you know, most people say boring, or my 4-year-old would say that too. But there's the other side of me, the guy that's got the Dalmatian and the rescue dog, Jack Russell mix, and the Labrador, who did workout with Venus Williams once in Florida, which was amazing. It's got 2 little kids. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, I did do a workout with Venus Williams once with my wife. It was insane. She is the most amazing athlete ever. And I'll just give it a shout out to Venus. Venus, you're great. We loved that workout. And if you're even into crypto, we could take blockchain to tennis. Don't worry. We're all there for you. Anyway, the reason I say this, and of course, Yuri, we could have done the same thing about you on any of the things about you, living in Boston, having 2 dogs, having a lovely girlfriend, you know, being involved in all sorts of, you know, crypto-related events, having a water company. These are things that tell people about who we are. That's the authenticity part. And this is, I wanted to just kind of mention this because to create a frictionless reputation, you want to have as little friction as you can between yourselves and the rest of the world in order to run a business, in order to build relationships, right?
Right.
So let's get into the real stuff about the model. So
great.
Why all this even matters at all is because we don't want to invest in people we don't believe in, that we want to buy into things we know. We don't like surprises like, oh, well, lost all your money, or, oh, we were a scam, or whatever. We want to trust people. That's the whole point of this experience, right? With any company. I want to trust Elon Musk as much as I want to trust Jeff Bezos at Amazon. I want to trust all these guys. I want to trust that they're going to deliver on the value and promise of what they promise is big business. But that's equally true for small and startup. At least that's how I feel.
No, you're definitely correct. And I like especially how you put that in there. We want to invest and buy in what we like and what we know. And you're right. People buy from people they like. So if they know you more, they will get to like you. And if they like you more, they're willing to buy from you and invest in your company.
That's right. Or if you're controversial, they might like you too.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. But that's still like whether you're controversial or not, that does help with people getting to know you, or at least some version.
And that's my point of authenticity. That's the point. The whole point of being out there is being able to say, I'm here, I'm present, I'm a real person. And we have spoken about this on a previous episode about I think we called it the #1 mistakes ICOs make. So I'll put a link back to that because it's related to this. This has just gone to the next level of bringing all these things together to help everybody. Because even if you're an investor in crypto and you run a business, you want to start a business, you want to do something, it is so important to understand this stuff. And so many people don't get it. So we're going to go through a couple more interesting bits now, which is, I think, even more exciting. So building brand and reputation to succeed in STOs, because everyone talks about STOs, so the security token offering. It doesn't have to be STO. We could replace security token offering with to succeed in building a business based on value. I could easily change it to that, and so could you, because we both know this is all about building value. So what you and I came up with was basically this. To build a frictionless reputation needs 3 things. You need to build the brand. You need to build your reputation itself. And you need to build the value in the business you're building, whether it's an STO, an ICO for that matter, or just about any business. So when I say building an STO here, what I think of is value and being able to demonstrate real returns to investors and real, delivering real product, real services, not just saying we're going to do it. So anything you want to add to that before we jump into the really exciting stuff?
No, I think you did a great job of doing an overall look, because you're correct. If you've got a good brand, a good reputation, that also then leads to building in a fantastic STO. So it all works as the same unit. You can't just do one without the other.
Right. Cool. So first of all, building a brand. Now, Yuri, you've been there before trying to build your water company, for example. I did the same thing in a previous life here in London, building another IT company. And, by far the biggest challenge is you go to your client and say, or you go to a new client and say, hi, I'd like to sell you water. And they say, well, and I don't know who you are. So,
right. Or why, or
show me your bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. Image. So you go from awareness. Okay. Now I know you've got a water company. Show me who you are. Okay. Here's my bottle. I have a bottle and it's got real water in it. Okay, great. So that's the first step that people really need to go through and understand, is to go from awareness. They need to see it first.
They do. And so, and especially like with the image part of that, because I was a small business, was the image of that I portrayed myself. So walking into the restaurant, having a conversation with the owner, like they were judging me as much as they were judging the taste of the water and the bottle itself. Because if they, again, know, like, and trust me, they will more likely buy into this, water brand that they have never heard of before.
Right. So if this is the building the brand part, and the next part is the building reputation part, that's where these two come together. So you're already, going to the next.
Jumped ahead a little bit, but,
no,
but
okay.
I meant like the image of me anyway, like walking in, if I was dressed like, a shabby person who wasn't very professional, they may judge the brand in a different kind of way. Right. So I had to make sure that I aligned with my brand because I was representing my brand.
So the number one mistake we talked about in the previous episode some time ago was that most people start with, hey, I exist, give me money.
Right. That's right. They jump on that. Like, know me, pay.
We just launched an ICO. We've got 4 weeks left. Give us money. Or we've got, 3 weeks left. Give us money. And you say, well, hang on a second. Show us your website. Let me just see that you exist in the real. Let me see that you have a LinkedIn website. Don't read it. Just see it. So to go from awareness to invest is wrong, because there's 3 steps in the middle that are critical to the way the brain functions. 1, image. 2, the fact check. The fact check is, I actually read this and I get it. It makes sense. Or I watched a video that you guys did and I really get it. It's going a level deeper from visual to, seeing something to actually hearing it. By hearing it, I mean reading it, internalizing it, hearing people speak, reading information, digesting what they're doing. And then it's only after they've seen it and heard about it and read it, image and fact check are both done, that they then say, is this even congruent with my goals, with what I want? Do I find it relevant to me? So the third point, relevance. So you go through the image, the facts, and then you say, is it relevant? If it's not even relevant, then you're never going to get to the invest stage. And so the problem I find with most people is they go from awareness straight to give me money, and that's just an easy reason to bounce. I'm out of here. I mean, forget it. And it's only after people invest that they even get to brand loyalty, and brand loyalty is a long, enduring process to get people to commit. So let me just jump to the next slide, where I've pretty much got the exact same pieces. But what I've done now is I've kind of skipped the awareness part because we already are aware of the thing. And I'll just show you the bounce points because this is kind of fun.
Okay.
A little animation for you.
Oh, great.
So the bounce points are, I'm initially loyal because I've already invested, but now I'm going to go through a point and say, is this still relevant to me? Because things are changing in the project or in the company. And I can also do a fact check and say, are the facts still relevant? Are the things that they originally told me still true? And what a lot of companies make the mistake of doing, and I see this all the time, is something goes wrong and they hide it, they bury it. Oh, I'm not going to tell anybody. And of course, it all comes out and the facts are then disrupted. And what happens when the facts are disrupted? Well, it's what I call bounce, sell, troll.
Mm-hmm.
Can't think of a better way to say it than bounce, sell, troll. So that is what happens. So at every step of the way, people are always going to verify their commitment to the thing they invested in the first place and to question their own loyalty to it. And if they're no longer loyal, they're going to bounce. If you convince them that the project is still based on facts, based on the same relevance to them that it was before, they might reinvest or remain loyal or become more loyal. And I love to use the example of Apple. Because, I mean, you're an Apple person, right?
I am. I'm an Apple person, yeah.
Right. So when I say you're an Apple person, you've got a Mac, you've got an iPhone.
An iPhone right here, yeah.
You have an Apple TV, the little box that you connects to your TV?
I don't. I have Amazon Fire.
Okay, that's okay.
So I don't have an Apple TV.
That's okay. But you're part of that ecosystem, and you probably go around telling people, hey, if you have an Apple, you could do this or you could do that, right?
Yeah.
So that is something we all do and tend to do a lot when we're loyal. And the challenge, of course, is we need to teach people how to build that loyalty in.
Yeah, I mean, say the reverse side of what's happening now, just from the fashion world. Have you been reading about what happened to Dolce & Gabbana?
No.
So with this whole like fact relevance loyalty thing, they said some terrible things about Chinese people basically, and did a very racist ad campaign in China ahead of their extravagant show, and they had a huge pushback because their loyal fans became suddenly non-loyal. So now like Alibaba has refused to sell their things. Like they're basically like the Chinese market, which is the largest in luxury goods, is shutting them out, which is going to basically bury the company.
Well, this is a perfect example of where loyalty goes back to the facts. And the fact is that they've said things they shouldn't have said. And,
they did.
And they've ruined good things. And now people are doing a check mark question. Do these facts align with what I invested in? No, bounce.
No. Yeah, sell, exactly. And they did the other part where you mentioned where they rather than owning it, they claim that, you know, apart from doing this stupid ad, then one of them made some like racist comments on his Instagram account, and he claimed that it was then hijacked. I'm like, just own it. Also, you're Italian. You're a little racist anyway, and just go with it. And so because of that now, they're going to lose the entire luxury market in China, which is going to then send them down a deep, deep hole.
And by the way, just for qualification, you're Italian by heritage
I'm
as
also,
well.
yeah.
So you have the qualification to say that about Italians.
I'm not saying that all Italians are racist, but I'm saying these two Italians are definitely racist.
Right, fair enough. So this is a perfect example of how to screw it up. And so hopefully everyone, you know, benefits from what we're telling people, because this is passionate to both of us, because we've both been in businesses. We're both witnessing a number of businesses fail. We're in a tough crypto market. It's a bear market still. It's tough. So you got to step up your game and play this game and do it right. That's the point here. That's what builds brand and builds loyalty. If you don't keep people informed and aware of what's going on in your company, and you don't keep the facts congruent, and you change something along the way, you end up like Dolce & Gabbana. If you stick to your guns and do what you said you're going to do, like Apple, people stay loyal.
Exactly. So, and you can lose that reputation at any time.
Right. Well, that's 100%. So now, how do we build a reputation to avoid the bounce, sell, troll outcome? Because that's the ultimate problem. Because as we talked about, we don't want people to bounce, sell, troll. I love that term, bounce, sell, troll. I'm going to start using that.
Bounce, sell, troll. I like that.
So there's three things that really define a person's reputation or a company's reputation. The brand and the fact and the image are all part of a process we go through that builds the brand, right? But the reputation part has three things. The first is, of course, as you just were talking about, transparency. So tell me about what transparency means to you, Yuri.
So transparency, it also partly just comes with being authentic, but you have to be open and honest with your customers, your clients. You tell them the good and the bad, and you have to be honest with it, because if they find out that you're lying, they will burn you to the ground. And it's so hard to cover all that up and to dig yourself out these days with social media and everything else. So that's what they really want. They want, you know, they want to be not like your friend, but like you would treat a good friend. Open, honest communication. If something you messed up, then admit you messed up and move on.
Yeah.
There are, dozens of examples of brands who made terrible mistakes, but they owned it and now they're fine, versus the other ones who try to cover it up and now, China's not selling your luxury goods anymore.
So I had an ICO I was working with. They wanted to get it listed on an exchange. I was helping them, advising them a little bit. And then something came up, and it was related to their smart contract and the way that it had been coded. And the question that the exchange asked, which is normal, is, did you do an audit of the smart contract?
Yeah.
So no, we didn't. Okay, that's fine. So please get it audited and share us the materials. Dead silence. Never heard from them again.
Huh.
Now, because they didn't respond to this exchange, the exchange is beginning to think that there's probably something wrong, a scam, a problem. Guess what they're doing now as an exchange? They're contacting other exchanges and saying, be aware. There's a problem with this particular company. We're concerned because they're hiding things that we know they need to be exposing. We've identified other things that looked a bit off. They've attempted to explain them, but now there seems to be a problem related to the smart contract. Is everything they're telling us just making it up as they go, or are they truly being transparent about what happened during their ICO process? And it's fascinating to watch how their reputation is being destroyed because they're not being transparent.
Yeah.
They're just not telling the good and bad news. They're trying to bury all the bad news under a carpet, and it's absolutely going to destroy them. And it's really sad because the actual project looks good. I think it's just one guy in the company who seems to have made a mess of the thing. What can I tell you? I mean, if the CTO screws it up and they keep him around, that's their business. I'm not going to say who the project is, but it's really sad to see this.
It is. That's so bad. And you're right. If you cover things up and you hide things and you lie, that's worse. Just own up and tell the truth. People will respect that.
Yeah.
Versus, like with what's happening now, they're going to bury you. Your good reputation will be destroyed in a matter of minutes.
And I see trolling happening all the time on Telegram groups because you're being honest and saying, these are the facts, guys. This is just what it is. I'm sorry. And fine, you're going to get trolled no matter what. But isn't it better to be trolled for honesty and then say, guys, look, these are the facts. In your situation, what would you do differently? And then let people give you their opinion. You're engaging them now. And by engaging them, you're going back to that. It's still relevant for them. You've told them the facts. If they don't like the facts and they want to bounce, fine. If they want to troll you for being honest, well, okay, fine. That's a different problem entirely. But more likely than not, when you give people an opportunity to give you feedback, you're engaging them. And what does that lead to? It leads to reinvigorated loyalty. I like these guys. They're honest. They tell me where we're at. They know what's going on. So transparency is the first one. Second one, and you said it a minute ago, so authenticity. I love authenticity because it's all about open arms. I can't do it on the screen, but open arms and being open to the world, here you go, open to the universe, and saying it as it is. Let's just tell people who we are. Don't just ask for money, because people invest in people, as you know and I know. So show that your relevant experience and something about you that's interesting. That's what I did at the very beginning. I wanted to start with authenticity. I wanted to say, here's who I am. I'm a real authentic person. I go to events. I go to shows. I'm on stage. I'm on a YouTube show. I'm an ICO bench expert. And people can check all that out. But I also have dogs. I have kids. I have a wife. I live in the UK. And that's what people want to see, is the authentic side, that I'm not just a guy that's saying I'm doing all these amazing things in crypto and I'm the best guy ever, but that I'm actually a real person that has real interest in playing tennis.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You're a fully fledged, fleshed out person. You're not some like two-dimensional crypto version that's like was made up somewhere and on the back of someone's piece of paper somewhere. You're actually like an actual human being.
I wasn't made up on the blockchain, you mean?
No. Not made up on the blockchain to make someone's project look more authentic.
Okay, and then the last one, transparency, authenticity, and what was the third one? Do you remember? I forgot.
Off the top of my head, I do not. And transparency, authenticity, and visibility.
Right. I love visibility. It's my favorite one, actually. This is the one most people just don't get. They go, oh, but yeah, I'm running a project. It's fine. Money will come in. And, I'm building my reputation on the fact that we have got a great project. Yeah, but where are you? Who are you? Putting a
Yeah.
photo up on a website doesn't mean jack to me, if I put it really mildly.
Right. You have to be out there with the people, with the people that you want to invest in. And I remember you bringing this up. It may have been a couple months ago, but how there are still a lot of high level investors who want to get into projects, but they will invest in the projects that actually show up to these events. Like, so if you're a good project, there are people who want to invest in you, but you have to go where they are. You have to talk to them, shake their hands. They want to see you before they invest in your project.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
And the other thing as well is, and this is, I mean, a little harder for a lot of these founders of startups in general to understand, is two things that I think are key to visibility. And one is being present. That means when you're in the room, you need to be present in the room. You need to command the respect. You need to be with a guy that when you walk, or girl, woman, that when you walk in that room, everyone should be looking at you because you've got this aura and this energy, like, I'm here and I'm here to do business, and everyone senses that. That's being present in like the moment. And most people just walk in the room and go, okay, I'm here. And it's not going to work. You've got to be 100% on, in flow, as Kotler would say, and really be in the moment. I think we should put a reference to his book, actually. That's a really good thing to refer to, is the whole thing about flow, because it's a really, it's Kotler, right?
Yeah, it's Stephen Kotler, Flow Genome Project is like his website. Yeah,
awesome.
But his books are great. Yes.
Yeah, but related to being present is be accessible. Let people talk to you. I see people who get on the stage and they're like, okay, I was on stage. No, I'm so cool. I'm the most amazing thing ever. I'm out of here. And that is not, I mean, that's fine. I get that you might have 10,000 people that want to bug you. Okay, so fine. Have one or two event organizers that kind of shield you and help you and protect you a bit. Because of course you get a lot of people and you'll get trolls and you get a lot of noise and all that. If you're, if you're there, which is great, you're visible now, but be accessible somehow on Twitter. John McAfee's on Twitter replying to everybody, as we talked about earlier, so is Elon Musk, but be accessible somewhere on your Telegram channel, on your LinkedIn, on your Twitter account, at this stage, at an event, write some blogs, but give people a chance to interact with you. It's the thing that I just find so amazing that people don't seem to allow. And how can I trust somebody I can't talk to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or let other people ask you questions. And I want to see how evasive your responses are, or how transparent and authentic your responses are. That's what matters to me if I'm going to invest.
Right. And for the people who are maybe on the more on the introverted side, who have the opposite issue of just like not wanting to chat with people, it's part of that is learning to put yourself out there and learning to slowly introduce yourself in places. You don't, again, have to throw yourself into a crowd of 10,000 people. No. You can start small. But again, the investors want to chat with you. So if that's something that you need to work on it, because it's an important skill to have, be able to speak with somebody and not feel like they are pressuring you.
I couldn't agree with you more. And that's, and to be fair, you can get coaching, you can practice. You're not going to get on the stage. Not everyone. I'm comfortable to get on a stage. I've done a lot of stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure you are too, that we can get up on stage having just written our deck and just go up on stage and start talking. But a lot of people can't. So practice, get feedback from your own team and let them rehearse it with you. So by the time you've done it 10 or 12 times, it's so natural that when you get on the stage, you feel good about it. And then you'll be present and you'll feel accessible to people because you feel confident. So I agree.
Exactly.
If it's not your thing, either one, don't present and ask someone else on your team to do it, but be accessible, or two, practice like hell to overcome for the things you're not as good at. So be awesome at what you're awesome at, but the things you're not as awesome at, just practice them so that you can do them as part of the job. Yeah. Totally. That's probably a fourth point we could add. So, okay, so now, of course, the thing is, what's the link between brand and reputation to the company? In this case, we're talking about the STOs because we're in the crypto world, the security token offerings, because, of course, in a utility world, we're talking about utility tokens, but in a security token, totally different world because we're dealing with investors who are looking for value, right? So in one slide, I think we pretty much said it. I'll move this here. So in one slide, we pretty much said it, that the link is that investors are looking at authenticity, They're looking at all the facts and all the information about the brand to make sure it's real. So everything can be authentic. The company and the awareness and the facts and all the visual cues and all that can be authentic, but so can the person and the team and all of that. But the connection between all of those is value.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because for me, what makes an STO an STO? It's the fact that the token is backed by equity. It's backed by shares. It's backed by fine art, by real estate, by company equity, by assets. And those all have real value. It's not a utility token with a charge that you're just charging, you're using a utility to charge a fee. We're talking about STO is all companies now. Every company is doing something and adds value. And if we don't connect the value back to the reputation and the authenticity and the brand of the company, then what are people investing in? They're investing in nothing rather than return on investment or good financial models and future projections. This is a game-changing shift for crypto people because they're used to just kind of, I put out a white paper and ask for money.
Right. And now you have to back it up with something. You have to back it up with transparency.
Welcome to the real world crypto. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that this is right for everyone, but it's reality. You don't want to invest in something and find out you're throwing your money to the wind.
No, you don't.
We want to invest in real companies with real people who've got great ideas, who cannot just say, I have a great idea and here's a roadmap and it's great. You know, as we've shown in multiple scam episodes where the product roadmaps were just like, are they kidding? The difference here for me is I want to see a 3-year financial plan. I want to see that there's a real team. I want to see that they actually understand what the underlying asset is that they're giving me access to so that I'm making money with them. I'm investing side by side with them. And as an investor, I probably want to help them. Mm-hmm. Crypto utility tokens, I mean, you know, probably not many people are really engaging with their client or with their invested, you know, with the people they invest in. This is a totally different game because this is reality now. We're moving away from this utility thing into a world where STO and real company are really the same thing. Mm-hmm. You're investing in the company. Anything you want to say on that? I just did my big rant.
Yeah. No, I think your rant summarized it very, very nicely because you're right. People do want authenticity. They want to back a real company. You know, think about you know, a publicly traded company. You have to know information about them, and the more information you know about them, the more you feel comfortable trading that stock. This is the same kind of thing. You're getting in on the early stages, and people want to know about you. They want to know about the company. They want to feel comfortable. It's like help them, help me help you. Like they want to give you their money. Help them give you their money by making them feel, you know, that you are authentic and you bring value, and that you're an actual company, not just some fly-by-night type of scam.
And the interesting thing you said about, you know, them being traded, you know, like an equity. I mean, okay, sure, all the utility tokens are sort of traded like equities, but there's no accountability.
Right.
But here, the accountability goes right back to the value, the return on investment, on the delivery of product and service to the community in which you promise to deliver. And you're being held accountable on another level because you're now actually dealing with regulators. Now, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. These coins will end up on exchanges like Backed, which is launched by the New York Stock Exchange sometime in early 2019 next year, or other STO type security token platforms, exchanges. The reality is they're going to be measured differently because if they break the law, they'll be held accountable for a change, which is actually a good thing. They can't just take the money and say, oh, yeah, it didn't really work out, so, you know, we're just out of here, because that's just not going to work. People want their money to be safe.
They do, and there will be consequences, and the companies who live by this will be held to a higher standard and become like the blue chip version.
That's right.
of the ICO world. So this is, why not?
So to summarize, what is a frictionless reputation or a frictionless reputation model? It's building the brand, the reputation, and the company's value in a single unique way that engages users, that demonstrates that the individuals and the company behind it are authentic, transparent, they're real, they're present, and that the product or the service that the company is building actually has real value, sustainable, delivers value over time, has return on investment, has a financial model that makes sense, engages people, talks to them. It's these three things that I think I have not seen anybody to date talk about. So we're calling it the frictionless reputation model.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add on this, Yuri? I know we did a lot of work together on this, although I spoke about it more than you did. But
no, it's fine. No, this has been fantastic, and I think this is, again, in any industry you're in, this is a good guideline on how to actually take an idea and turn it into a legitimate company and make it a reputable company. So, so this has been fantastic. Thank you for going over this with our viewers.
To be honest, there's so much more material we have than this that we've spoken about. That is really, I mean, if this was the tip of the iceberg on what a frictionless reputation model looks like, then if there's anybody out there listening or watching that says, this resonates with me, I like it, and I'd love to have you guys present or talk to us or help you guys, by all means, you can contact us on the coinchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can contact us on t.me/thecoinchat on Telegram. You can check us out at the CoinChat on Twitter. All the links are down below in our description in YouTube. But we're here to help. We've done a lot of studies on this stuff outside of the world of crypto, and we are absolutely open to helping you guys if anybody out there wants some help. And equally, we're very happy to come and present this kind of stuff in far more detail, because this stuff is what makes or breaks companies. And to be honest, I'm seeing it every day with all these startups in crypto, and everyone's making the same mistakes, and it kills me trying to advise people. And that's why we put this together, is to help everybody, right? So that everybody can say, listen, just go watch this presentation that we did. We put it on YouTube for you all. Do me a favor and please just watch this. And afterwards, you'll know something you didn't already know. So hopefully this will be a good takeaway for people. And I've enjoyed putting it all together. It was a lot of work. And and a shout out to my wife. Thank you very much, Paulie, for putting this together for us, because you made it come to life. So mustn't forget that.
Right.
I also need to give a shout out to my friends over at Platinum Listing, because they were meant to see this presentation somewhere else. And unfortunately, that event didn't work out because of some technical issues. So I wasn't there. So, shout out to Christina, because Christina, I know you were, waiting to see us and you didn't get to see us. So I'm sorry for that. But here we are. Anyway. We can wrap it up there. I think we need to talk a lot about what's going on in crypto generally. So let's follow up with that, because I know a lot of people are asking what the hell's going on with all these selling off and bear market stuff.
Right.
So don't worry, everybody. We'll be back. There's a lot more to talk about. We will be back with lots more content, lots of things happening. To the moon? Do I say to the moon anymore, or are we tired of hearing that?
We're slowly going to the moon.
Well,
a ladder
not
length.
to hell. It's going to be a ricochet.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're going to stick with it for now, Yuri. And at some point, we might change the slogan at the end, but we're still going to stick with what people like to hear. Like to hear. If anybody has a comment and says you should change the slogan at the end to something else, please let us know that as well. So thanks everybody for listening in today on the Coin Chat with Yuri, Cataldo, and Steve Good. It's been a real pleasure putting this together for you. It was a lot of work, a lot of fun, and we will be back soon. To the moon. Until next time.
Bye.